Hi guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. In this video, I'm going to be doing some love notes from your person. This is going to be a message cards only reading, and there are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the rose quartz. Group 2 is the emerald. And group 3 is the amethyst. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead. And up next is a close-up photo of the crystals to help you better make your selection. Hi, group 1. You chose the rose quartz. So let's see, what does your person want you to know right now from their higher self? Okay, the first one that we have is, I am afraid to tell you the truth. Please just listen to what I have to say. So this is giving the energy of somebody who may have denied their feelings for you or had ghosted you, kind of changed up their energy very suddenly. And so there's a sense of them wanting to like come back home to you, try again, start over, open up, as opposed to continuing to keep a wall of silence intact between the two of you. But then there's also a sense of, I have loved you all along. I have always admired you. I've always been attracted to you. You have made me feel things that I never thought I would feel for anyone again, or that I never knew it was possible to feel for another person. So there's a sense of regret at having swallowed their truth in some kind of way, and wanting to come clean about all of that, wanting to do everything they never did before, make up for lost time. And there's a sense of almost wanting you to hear them out, because I'm hearing it's a long story as well. So, there may be a lot kind of that has gone on in the time since you've been in separation, if it's like a full no contact, or sort of what's happening if you're still dealing with this person. It's like back and forth. What's going on when they sort of hit the mute button and kind of retreat within themselves? There's a sense of, I want to let you in on my internal process. I want to make you aware of kind of what keeps me up at night as far as this connection is concerned, mistakes I've made in the past as far as this situation goes, and a desire to create remedy in the future. We also have, I don't want to let you go. So this person may be sensing that you're slipping through their fingers. They may have pushed you away altogether, and there's a sense of that wasn't the right choice to make. This is like a slow and steady progress back to the start. How do we restart this? How do we create a reset for one another and this love connection? There's a sense of this person feeling like, I don't want things to end this way. Or even if you're still in contact with them, there's a sense of knowing that if they don't do something different, then they will effectively be kind of canceled out of your life in some sort of way. You're not going to put up with their nonsense. You may have given them a very extended grace period as far as if they needed to figure things out, if they're like, I don't know what I want, I need some time, I need to think about things, or if they didn't even do you the courtesy of having that conversation and just sort of retreated within themselves. There's a sense of that was not the right approach to this situation. We also have, please be patient with me. So it feels like they are working up the courage to approach you or to make some kind of a confession. But again, it's this idea of like, it's a long story, just hear me out. I'm also hearing, just let me finish. So it may be something where there could be details that they have to reveal to you, things that had been going on that had been kind of a motivator for them and their behavior in the past, that you might not like to hear some of these things. It may be uncomfortable or unpleasant truths, but it feels like on the other side of any kind of confession about things that might not have been totally above board. This could have even been somebody that was like, I still had feelings for my ex, or I wasn't sure I was ready entirely for a new relationship when things started to heat up between us. And so I needed to take some time and really sort that out. This person might have even reconnected with an ex for a period of time just to create some sort of closure for themselves. And so there's a sense of, if there was like a third party in this situation, that circumstance has either wrapped up or they're wrapping it up. But there's a sense of like, I want to tell you about all of this. I don't want to just pop back up in your life, reappear and pretend like nothing is wrong. We need to have a difficult conversation, but I need you to hear me out to the end. Because even if it involved kind of sifting through their feelings for another person, or really getting like ready to invest fully with you in what's possible in the future, if they needed to create some closure with another person, like tie up some loose ends or close those doors of communication, there's a sense of I've cleared that business with that other person. I've completed what I needed to learn. The lesson is completed. Everything's come full circle. And so now I'm ready to kind of give this connection, give you the time and care and attention that I hadn't done before. We also have, please forgive me. Yeah, so there may be something difficult that they're needing to tell you, some kind of unpleasant truth. Hearing you're not going to like this. So again, it's something that you may have had your suspicions about something. Again, it's this energy of kind of like an ex that they were dealing with, or even just kind of leading you to believe they were ready for commitment before they were, like feeling I wasn't as healed as I thought I was. I wasn't as ready for a new love connection as I thought I was. And so it's almost like they've retreated back into that wounded space, and they feel that they've missed a chance with you. They've missed an opportunity. They want a do-over in this situation. They're not happy with the idea of like, this is how things end. This is all that we are to become to one another. So this is somebody, it feels like, that's getting ready to disclose a great degree of truth to you. It's taking a lot of courage, it feels like, to open certain doors within themselves, to confess what may just be kind of the remedy. It'll set you both free, either to, complete the cycle with this person, or it feels like it's just what is necessary in order to kind of catapult the both of you into the ability to have like a fresh start with one another beyond the cycles of the past. And they also say, I have trouble with intimacy. So if this wasn't like they were talking to an ex or dealing with a third party, this can definitely tie into you seemed too good to be true. They, had fears of like history repeating themselves, or kind of like, am I ready to embark on a loving connection with another person with my heart fully open, fully leaning in perfect love and in perfect trust into the situation? Whatever happens, I'm here with you. I'm here for it. I'm on board, and let's get down to the business of loving one another. That might have sounded really good in theory to them. They might have been going with the flow of that for a period of time, and then it's almost like someone that got cold feet, or started to ask themselves, what if this turns out like that other situation? What if this person turns out to be just like my ex? What if I find myself in that same situation? I can't go through all of that again. Or somebody that, in order to be with you, they needed to fully release an ex. They needed to release situationships, other options, open lines of communication, or a part of them that might have still been waiting, or waiting in vain for the return of a previous person. And there's a sense that they saw and see you as like a golden opportunity to step forth into a new chance at love, a new type of loving partnership, but they can't bring that baggage from the past. It's like they can't have a part of themselves still lingering in the past in order to immerse themselves fully in the present and move forward into the future with you. And so there's a sense of even the nature of those questions, those like old wounds coming up, or things that they needed to kind of clear out, maybe to be more serious with you, and they were needing to sort of disconnect from more like shallow or surface level connections, a sense of like, you're not going to like this, that, you know, I had these other options, I had these other people I was talking with, I made a promise to myself I wasn't gonna get in too deep with anyone again, or not at this point in time, and yet here you are, or, you know, you arrived in my life and it changed everything. They also say, I can see myself with you for the long term. So this is somebody who is not just wanting to bring forth, like, you know, the confession of the naughty things they've done, the bad behavior, you know, whatever the fears were that kind of pulled them away from the intensity of like building with you. This is somebody that feels like, I want to go further than this. I want to conquer these demons. I want to face these fears. I want to face you directly. I want to make my confession. I want to tell you every bad thing that I did. You know, I want to let you know about my doubts and give you the opportunity to pour your love into me, so that those wounded places are no longer parched and hurting, but that there's actual healing that takes place within all of that. So this is somebody that on the other side of kind of that difficult conversation, the uncomfortable conversation which may need to take place, there's also like a plan of action that they want to discuss with you. If you will hear me out, if we can work on sort of moving beyond whatever's happened, if you can be patient with me while I am navigating this process of, I am so in love with you and yet I am terrified about that fact. If we can work with that, if you understand the raw materials that I have at my disposal, and we can find a way through you holding space and me continuing to make efforts as best as I can, I think we can find a way forward from this. I think we can move forward as a unit, as a team, as a partnership with one another. They also say, I'm always on guard because I don't know how you will react when I speak my truth. Please be open to what I have to say. This person may actually be kind of turning a molehill into a mountain. There's a sense of like, this may even just be somebody that is needing to say, I have loved you for years. I loved you from the moment that I saw you. I have loved you in silence. And when we started to tiptoe into that territory of, okay, let's explore this chemistry. Let's explore this potential. Let's, you know, start to unpack all of this and experience it in real time. There's a sense that they're feeling almost that they might have led you on. They opened up your heart space and then they left you stranded in love all alone. And there's a sense of, it's not you. This was something within me, something that was not feeling worthy to receive what you had to give, something within me that was feeling like maybe I'm better off just situated with disappointments or the pain that has been kind of dwelling inside of me. And so there's a sense of feeling that there's been unnecessary kind of like hurt, uncertainty, disappointment in this situation, and there's a lot of pressure on them to like make some sort of confession to you, because there's a sense of, you need to know this isn't like, oh, I've just now discovered that I'm in love with you. I've had these deep feelings for quite some time, and it scared the shit out of me. I didn't know what to do about all of that. I didn't know how to approach you. I didn't know where this was going to like fit into the equation of my reality. I didn't know if this was finally the love I had been waiting for, if what we have with one another, what we had in the past, could be enough to kind of bring us beyond these sort of waves of fear, so that we could create this momentum in more of a positive direction. Wanting something long term with you, but maybe somebody that's only been used to kind of like disappointment, things seeming to go well with others, and then the bottom drops out. So there's a lot that they need to kind of discuss with you, and it may be kind of an act of valiantry on their part to be this open and honest. This isn't just like, hey, I'm sorry, can we work beyond this? This is somebody who's maybe getting ready to like offer you their hand, kind of like, take my hand and come down with me into this kind of dungeon of all these fears, all this darkness. Like, I want to really get to the root. I want you to understand my perspective, where I was coming from, not to make excuses, but to provide you with a more thorough understanding than you have had up to this point, as far as my motivations, my feelings towards you, my fears in this situation, so we can find a way forward from what has happened, either this person retracting their energy or ghosting altogether, or, you know, whatever's happened that might have put you sort of at a distance from each other. They also say, finding out the truth crushed me. So this is a sense that this person was triggered. They were fearful. They leapt at the first kind of sensation of that fearfulness and found themselves out in the cold, in a position they never wanted to be in with you. And it's a sense of like, oh shit, what have I done? How did I end up out here in the outskirts of this person's life? The best thing that ever happened to me, the person that has made me feel alive again, the one that I could be myself with. Why did I do this? Why did I give into that fear? Why did I let that momentary what if moment derail the miraculous experience of we've crossed paths with one another in this lifetime, and the timing was right, or we were challenged to realign the stars in favor of this connection. The mood was right, the vibe was right, everything was lining up. And I chose this path of doubt, second guessing, fear. And now I have to come back with an apology, an explanation, changed behavior. And there's a sense of they've been very disappointed in themselves ever since an action that was taken here, something that has created silence, something that has created uncertainty on your part, something which also may have motivated you to kind of close off to this person or start to like redirect your focus elsewhere. They could have gotten wind of that. They could be aware that like you're dating again, you're putting yourself out there, you're not just like sitting, wallowing, crumpled up on the floor in misery. You may have done that for a period of time, but now you're blossoming. Now you're pushing through all of that darkness, all of that pressure that these circumstances have yielded for you. And so there's a sense of they know they made the wrong choice as far as this situation is concerned, as far as you are concerned. And this is somebody who's very consumed at this point by like, how do I fix this? How do I make it right while there is still time? They also say, I want to work things out. So there you go. Very succinct confirmation of somebody who you have not heard the last of this person. It may be silent at this point in time. Communication may be awkward, but this is somebody that's like working up the courage to tell you some things, show you a side of themselves that you may not have ever seen. You might have thought, oh, this person isn't a really good communicator. They're very closed off. It's hard to like get anywhere with them. They're getting ready to show you that's not actually the case. This is somebody who may have evolved emotionally through losing you in this connection, or this is somebody who was always more evolved and was kind of just playing the role of somebody that was very shallow as like a self-protective mechanism. And so when they open that door, when they reach out, when they speak that truth, it feels like you're going to be really surprised that, hey, this person's actually able to talk about their feelings. They're able to hold space with another person who is also going to cathart, also going to emote, also going to express themselves. It feels like this person knows that this isn't just a monologue. You're not just gonna like sit there and then they're telling you everything. You know, you will have some kind of reaction. There'll be some kind of exchange back and forth where, you know, you could become tearful, you could become angry, you know, you could become very kind of like cold, and there's a sense of them being aware, like, I need to sit through all seasons of that. I've created this circumstance for the two of us, and I need to be able to stand in your truth, just as I am asking you to hear me in my full truth, so that we can embark on something more, trying to work this out, trying to find a way beyond where things have kind of fallen apart or gotten very tangled and complicated. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. C T Y E N A C L I V W S K X F D E W and R. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the emerald. So let's see, what does your person want you to know right now from their higher self? So the person that we have is, I never knew what love was until I met you. So this person is daydreaming about you a lot, fantasizing about you a lot, excited for the future, very content with where things are at right now. Or if you're in kind of like an in-between phase, maybe you've had some kind of special experience recently and you're both just like sitting in silence, basking in kind of the ambiance of the aftermath of the experiences you've had, something where you've opened up to one another, or there's been some kind of effort made on this person's part to let you know how special you are to them, how meaningful this connection is. This can also indicate that they're getting ready to do something that will be kind of monumental in terms of what you've experienced with them so far. And then there'll be this kind of basking period afterwards where you're both just kind of, sitting there at the end of the weekend, or, sitting there kind of the day after your special romantic evening. And this person's got stars in their eyes as far as you are concerned. They just think the world of you. And there's a sense of, I want to find ways to make you smile. I love spending time with you. I love who you are as a person. I love who I am in your presence. I love the way you motivate me to do things in the name of love that don't come easy for me. It's like you challenge this person to grow into more of an outwardly expressive romantic than they usually are. And there's a sense of, it's uncomfortable coming out of their shell, stepping out of their comfort zone, but you're worth it. You're worth every bit of like nervousness, giddiness, the rush that they feel in the moment when they see joy light up your face, when they're in the midst of, I've planned something and it's unfolding and I'm here now with you in this moment. It's not just theoretical. It's not just a fantasy. It's like the implementation of plans. So this person like thinks of you as someone they want to be with in the long term, somebody that they derive a lot of joy from making you happy, from seeing you joyous. It lights them up inside. They also say, I am intimidated by you. So you have the power to lift this person up or crush them beyond recognition. There's a sense of, I always want to stay in your good graces. I always want to be close. I don't want there to be any secrets between the two of us. I don't want you to feel that you are an option in my life, or that you have any other place other than taking center stage in my heart, in my reality, in my world. This person is very dedicated to you, dedicated to lifting you up. Again, having you in that very joyous energy, because there's a sense of, when you're hurting, I am hurting. When you are happy, I am happy. And if there ever comes a day when you don't want me in your life anymore, I would be forever changed. I would never be the same. I'd be a shadow of the person that I am when I'm with you. I love the version of myself that I am when I'm with you, when I'm loving you openly and with everything that I am. And so you hold a lot of power over them. You have redefined already what love is. It feels like mostly in your receptivity, in giving them the opportunity through your graciousness, your patience, through your presence, to let them really show you what you mean to them, to demonstrate acts of love, to speak their love language, and to walk with you as you decipher what that is. It feels like they're very excited about the ways in which their love language of choice or preference, how that has hit the mark with you, how it's resonating. It's like you're understanding these efforts that they make in a way that makes them feel very accomplished. Like it's an accomplishment when they're able to sort of plan something sweet, plan something meaningful, and you're enjoying yourself. You have a good time. It goes well. They feel very successful afterwards. It really boosts their ego in a healthy way. They also say, I wish I could share my good news with you. So this feels like somebody that's planning something, planning a surprise, planning an intimate night together, just like candlelit dinner. They may have something important to discuss, an important question that they want to ask you. Just take that as it resonates for wherever you're at in your connection with one another. This is a sense of, it's very hard for them to kind of just keep a poker face at this point in time, in terms of, even if you're like hanging out, you've got your interactions, you do things together, there's something that they are wanting to present you with, or show you, or experience with you, that may come as a surprise. It may be something like, wow, I didn't think we'd reach this point in our connection so soon, so early. It may be something that would almost be prefaced with like, I know this will sound impulsive. I know this might be too soon. I know I might be rushing things, but I can't hold back any longer. I can't hesitate. I don't want to explore options. I don't want anyone but you. They also say, I blocked my heart because I needed to heal. I was in fear. Please understand. So at a certain point in time, it feels like this person might have had to almost, they might have almost thought like, not are you too good to be true, but they may almost have asked themselves like, is this real? Is this really happening to me? Is this really my lucky break as far as love is concerned? Am I really in the presence with this earth angel, the light of my life, the person who I increasingly feel is quite likely the love of my life? And this is happening in real time. It's playing out now. This isn't something I'm watching in a movie. It's not something I'm, scripting in my mind. It's happening here in the flesh, in the material world. And so there's a sense that they're moving with reverence and conscientiousness in this next phase of whatever they're planning. There's like, I want to make the moment special. I want to make sure that it's memorable for the two of us. Again, they derive a lot of joy from seeing you happy and uplifted. And they also say you deserve better than me. So again, this is a sense of like you challenge this person to grow, to evolve as a person, to evolve as a lover, to evolve as a partner. There's a sense that they've had to kind of move through the static of triggers of almost an imposter syndrome, like the way in which they're able to make you happy and feel very happy in the midst of that. There's like a little voice in their mind that's like, okay, at a certain point in time, you're going to have to take off the mask. The masquerade will end, the lights will come on, and this individual will see you for who you really are. So it's almost like they're having to just sort of tune out that inner critic that may have been very vicious with them at certain points or all along this process and journey with you. So it's like somebody that's evolving into more of a confident version of themselves. Yes, they can show up for you in the ways that they have, and more importantly, in the ways that they want to. Yes, seeing is believing and believing is seeing, and they're in this moment with you. You're here, you're present, you're participating with them, you're receptive, you're giving to them. All of this is happening. This dream is taking shape in the here and now, and they are qualified to be that person within what there's a sense of like you're a dream come true. This experience, where we're at, where I see us headed towards, what's happening, it's better than my dreams. It's better than anything I thought was possible with another person. And so the slow and steady approach could also be where they're just trying to like muffle that inner critic and just really show up and experience kind of the rewards of this. Somebody that may have suffered a lot in love prior to meeting you, and it's like, okay, finally, it's my turn. It's my turn to have something real. It's my turn to have something healthy. I also say I want to make amends. So there's a sense of, if they've ever, this is somebody that almost is like, if I've ever even accidentally hurt your feelings or haven't shown up as kind of what you need, then I'm so sorry for that. You might have not even ever had a fight or a disagreement with this person. Things could have come up where you were both busy and kind of had to tend to your own lives, and then, you know, you're coming back together with one another, and there's a sense of this person feeling like, if ever during these times where we need to take space or I'm really immersed in other things, if you've ever felt overlooked, secondary to anything, insignificant, I want you to know that that's not the case. They think about you all the time. They got your picture saved on their phone, most likely. If you've taken like a photograph together, they've got that framed. It's sitting on their desk. It's sitting on their nightstand. It's somewhere where they can constantly see it or regularly see it. And when they do, when they see that, they see that joy, they see that closeness, it's like, yes, we are a couple. We are meant to be with one another. And if I ever made you question or doubt my certainty about that, then I'm sorry. And let me show you a lot of tenderness to make up for that. I also say, I think of you every day. That's how much I love you. Yeah, so you are not a distraction to this person. It feels like you are a great motivating force for them. They are amazed at the ways in which they are not losing themselves in this connection, but it's actually you are helping to enhance or to explain who they are, who they've always been, that other lovers couldn't penetrate these layers of them and kind of bring it to the surface. Other lovers weren't as aligned with them to where it would feel comfortable and natural and like a good idea to invest, to open up, to become hopeful for the future. This is somebody that like doesn't want a safety net. They want to just fly with you, rise into love, experience everything they can with you. There's a lot of trust that they have for you as a person, and there's a sense of like, it feels like my heart is safe with you. Who I am is safe with you. They also say, it's time for me to heal now. So there's a sense of again, like gestures, actions that they take, conversations that they have, special moments, romantic moments. This is helping to heal parts of them that had thought they weren't good enough. People who hadn't been able to appreciate who they are, who weren't worthy of them in the past, lessons, karmic partners, all of that had left, people had left like their muddy footprints within this person's psyche, within this person's heart, within this person's life. All of that burden becomes a little less heavy and a little less hurtful because they are experiencing healing in the moment as themselves. Whether it's great actions that they take towards you or just sitting in the stillness and the presence of each moment that they are blessed to share with you. It's a sense of this love, this connection. It's medicinal for them. It's rejuvenating them. It's like the fountain of youth. You're helping to erase years of doubt. This person is germinating a healthy and balanced ego through the exchanges with you. And this may have come after like dark night of the soul, ego death, stripped of the illusions of everything they thought they were before, left only with kind of the hope and the wreckage beyond all the masks and the surface level situations. They've just been sitting with themselves. And then you came along and almost invited them to get back into the experience of living again, not in repetitive patterns that had held them down and chained them in the past. But there's a sense of your openness, your receptivity, your givingness to this person. It's invited them to rise beyond everything they've known of love before, that they've known of themselves before, and to really feel like, I'm good at being loving. I'm good at being a loving partner. This is my strong suit. This is my strength. And not just that they have this quality within, but there's a sense of them recognizing like, I have aligned with the person who brings out the best in me. And I want to do what I can to continue to encourage the best in them and you, the viewer, to come out as well. They also say, I am so sorry. Yeah, so there's a sense of, if they're taking kind of a slow and steady approach, or sort of basking in things, they make special kind of concessions or actions, or they have like a romantic moment with you. It's like they're sitting in the vapor of all of that. They're sitting in the perfume of that experience. It's like that little emoji on the phone with the hearts instead of eyes. It's like that's that person when they sit and just sort of like think about you. They get into this blissful state, and it's part of that healing. It's part of the medicine that this connection, this exchange between the two of you represents. And there's a sense of like they know they're kind of just savoring every last drop of that you're flowing with one another towards the future. But there's a sense of like, I see forever with you, and we're here at this point now, and I'm sorry that it's taking so long to kind of advance things to the next level. But there's a sense of like, I hope you are just as satisfied and pleased with where things are headed, where I want to let you know that I anticipate things continuing to evolve and unfold, because I don't want anyone else. I only see you. I only want you. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, whatever resonates for you. Got M, V, Y, D, C, V, B, H, D, U, G, H, A, X, O, E, and R. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the Amethyst. So let's see, what does your person want you to know right now from their higher self? So we have, I was scared about how I felt about you. I never felt this way before. You are special to me. So this person is dealing with a lot of overwhelm at this particular point in time. It feels like energetically you may have sensed, okay, they've opened up their heart. They've opened up their energy. Or they're getting ready to do that. If this is someone that like blocked their heart off, cut off communication, almost somebody that might be frozen like a deer in the headlights at the nature of the experiences they were having with you, feelings that had surfaced within, a sense of some kind of threshold that needs to be crossed into an empowered version of them that is equipped to stand beside you and blossom into an evolved kind of love. There's a sense of this is a connection that is out of the ordinary. This experience is out of the ordinary. And so something which it feels like has caused them to sort of just become very still within this situation. Not so much uncertain, but just, am I really ready to take the plunge in this circumstance? Am I sure that this is the person? This is the circumstance. This is the life I want to align with. This person may be a fiercely loyal individual. They don't just give their loyalty away. Trust must be earned. It's not just freely given by them to others. And there's a sense of you've won them over. You have sparked something magical inside of them from very early on in the connection. Maybe even like love at first sight, and they've needed to kind of just back down a little bit, kind of ground themselves and look at things from a very practical standpoint. Like, this feels so right, it feels so mystical, it feels so next level, but we're living on Earth. We're here now in these times, and how does this feeling equate in with the reality I've created for myself? With the life you've got going on, with what I envision the future to be like, romantically and otherwise, for myself, for you? How do these paths intersect? So this person's been doing a lot of soul searching, a lot of thinking, a lot of reflection. And there's a sense of, okay, I'm ready to take a step forward towards you, not to continue to back away, or to allow you to drift further outside of my orbit through a stillness that may have settled in or that had been kind of intentionally or deliberately put in place. And so this is somebody who's like encouraging themselves to be received by the flow state between the two of you, to be swept up into that vibration of this is a life-changing kind of love. That you're at the precipice of change with one another. to become involved with that process of releasing things that don't align with the full blooming of this relationship, or the versions of yourselves that you become within it, and how that affects other areas of your life where your energy is infused in, where you are participating. There's a sense of, this person understands there's certain things that, maybe even ideas that they've had about love and partnership, that conflict with the experience that they have had with you, and that they know is possible in the future. And there's a sense of jadedness, pessimism. It has no place. It's irrelevant within the midst of what you're experiencing or you have experienced. And so that may have been very challenging. They may have had to sit and sort of hear their ego out. All the reasons why it would be better to walk away or not, kind of invest in something more. And at the end of the day, they are still compelled towards you. They've come up with a million reasons why this couldn't work, or, that it would just end up in disappointment. And yet they're choosing that one reason, that core reason. They love you. They want to discover all the facets of what that means as you continue to progress forward with one another. They also say, I know I messed everything up. So they understand that they dropped the ball, disappointed or confused you. If they had gone like a hot and cold, but this would have been something almost, it feels like, where the vibe's right. You're having ongoing conversations. They're expending high effort or equal effort with you in terms of maintaining the connection and sort of being in the midst of it in real time. And there's a sense of anything where they've gone kind of still, they've become low effort, they've retreated within, they've closed off, they've kind of pushed you out in the sense of, maybe dry responses to your communications, or, just kind of saying, oh, I'm too busy with work, too busy with these other things. I don't really have time, or I'm going to need to, kind of just be away from the connection for a period. That may all be true, but there's a sense of they leaned into that as some kind of an excuse, something to kind of create a space for some breathing room for themselves to really say, am I ready for what comes next within this situation? Am I ready to take things further with this person? Am I ready to release everything that holds me back from knowing and believing that whatever beautiful or magical experiences we have with one another going forward, that I'm worthy of those, I'm deserving of those, that's real, that I can have my cake and eat it too, as far as this connection is concerned, that practically, in a mundane sense, you fit, you feel right, you align, you're genuine, you vibe with one another. And in that kind of more mystical sense, you bring forth a dreamy energy. You've awakened the dreamer within this person. They may be very challenged at this particular point in time as well, because they're starting to see through the illusion of ways in which they might have told themselves, yeah, I'm happy in the life I'm living. I got everything I want and need. I know where I'm going, and I'm very committed to that path. They may be starting to really recognize things in their life they've settled for, things that are standing in the way of their personal success, or who they are as a person. There may be some things they need to cut out of their life or disconnect from. That may involve just kind of people they're hanging around with, what they're sort of filling their spare time with, or even the life that they thought they wanted to be living in the future, goals and dreams. It's you've awakened some kind of aspect of wanting more for themselves. And so this is somebody, again, that's taken some time to really introspect, feeling very challenged in how they've been triggered to do this, but then also seeing that there's an opportunity here to experience a different type of love and partnership than they've known, and also an opportunity to start to evolve in other ways in their life, inspired by your living example, or spurred on by the nature of kind of What is stimulated within them in terms of this questioning? I also say, I check on you from afar. So again, this is somebody who, even if the communication is kind of dicey at this point, or they've gone kind of silent, or, you know, they've been busy legitimately, or even just sort of leaning into that as an excuse, they keep an eye on you. They're thinking about you. You're part of their private thoughts and reflections. There's a lot of time very consciously and deliberately spent on not just you pop into their mind and then the thoughts begin to spiral in a million different directions, but there's a sense that this person's like, I need to sit down and think about this. I need to really reflect on this. I need to really check in with myself and ask that question. Am I ready for the type of love that this beautiful person has to offer me? And if I'm not ready, what do I need to do in order to get myself ready quickly? Because there's a sense that they don't want to miss out on an opportunity with you. They don't want to let this pass them by. They also say, I love you. Yeah. So the answer always comes back to this as far as you are concerned. The doubts and the insecurities and, you know, the ego that had like a plan of action forward to the future. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm headed. This is the type of partner that will be by my side through all of this. This is who I am within that role and how it affects other areas of my life. You've brought their attention to the importance of love in a very classical sense. This person might have thought like, I need to get all my ducks in a row. I need to like, you know, create my financial security, my opulence. I need to build my kingdom, and then I'll find someone to be my consort. There's a sense that now I want us to be co-rulers. I want us to build a life together. Because for all the money in the world, all the titles and the accolades and the success and the notoriety, to be loved by you and to be given the privilege to love you, that is my wealth. That is the greatest thing that I possess and participate in. I also say, I wish we could go back. So there's a sense that they wish they hadn't used something as an excuse. This might have been somebody that's like, I have a lot going on at work, or, you know, I've got a lot of travels or plans, or, you know, other commitments that are going to kind of take me away from this situation, where they may have just been sporadic with their communication, or it's just been quiet altogether. And there's a sense that they didn't need to create that extreme of a barrier between the two of you. So there's like a loneliness at this point in time. They're missing you. There's a sense that this may have even been necessary for them to kind of understand just how meaningful you are. It doesn't feel good when we're not in communication. It doesn't feel good when, you know, we are distanced from one another, or when I've chosen to just kind of apply all my attention towards the things right in front of my face. That doesn't feel good. So it's like their heart is being drawn towards you. There's a sense of, I want you to be my companion in this journey of life. You're my best friend. You're my lover. Or I want us to become these things. Yeah, and they say, I feel empty without you. So they're missing you. They're longing for you. They're lonely for you. They're craving your touch. They want to talk to you. They want to reach out. They want to look in your eyes. They want to kiss you. They want to do a lot more than just kissing. This is somebody that sees you as the full package. You're everything that they're looking for and then some. You are everything that they never knew that they needed, and everything they have been searching for in vain in other people. I also say, I think of you every day. That is how much I love you. Yeah, so even if they are not communicating with you in a 3D sense, you are heavily on their mind. You're in their heart. They can't escape you if they tried. They may be getting a lot of signs and synchronicities. The universe kind of reassuring them that Yes, this is appropriate for you to be on their mind and in their heart so deeply and so frequently, because the powers that be support effort to move forward with one another in this connection. It's a divinely guided connection. It's a divinely protected connection. It's a divinely sanctioned connection. And they're starting to realize that. It's more than just they are fond of you. There's a sense of we belong together. We were made for each other. You also say, can we start over? So it feels like if they had other things going on, travels or, duties and obligations to other things, if they had a lot going on with work, this is somebody that is trying to sift through some things, trying to kind of separate the wheat from the chaff, trying to create sort of a little space within their life where they are devoted purely to, let's figure this out. Let's start to pour more of ourselves jointly into the experience of creating more special moments, creating more meaningful experiences with one another. So that even if my life takes me in other directions because of work, because of travels, because of, duties and obligations, that I'm not just hanging on to the memories, but that we have some kind of constancy between the two of us. It doesn't need to be all or nothing. I want you involved in this. I want you with me. I want our lines of communication open. I want our energy exchange to be fluid. If there are times where it can't be regular, it can't be consistent, I want it to be meaningful when we do touch bases with one another, so that there's more substance to hold on to in terms of that motivation. Like, I'm making my way back home to you. I also say, I hope that one day you can forgive me. So this is somebody that wants to make up for lost time or kind of remedy anything that's happened in this situation. Not even so much with like, let's have a conversation about this, but it's a sense of like, let me just behave differently. Let me just show up differently. Let me just participate in this differently. Let me be more actively engaged with you. Let me do my part to make sure these are quality experiences, quality moments, that there's more frequency in our contact with one another, that the time we spend with one another, you're not left with questions. I'm not stonewalling you, but you really feel seen and appreciated and cherished and participated with in the moment. So that as we're both living our lives in other ways, we've got that treasure to hold on to. We've got that understanding that no matter what is happening, there's that sanctuary. There's that beauty. There's that experience of, this is a heart which understands me and which I understand. This is a place of safety and sanctuary. It's like a homecoming with you. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, so whatever resonates for you. Got E, M, W, F, G, H, P, S, P, R, K, C, T, M, J, N, T, I, A, C, D, and U. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.